Hello Genius, I am Karpagaraj. Today we are going to see about theories of management under the topic of Introduction to the Media Management. First of all, we are going to see what is theory. Theory is a formulated general principle used for better understanding of ideas, issues or concepts. It relates the past with the present for the sake of the future. Those that relate to the management and are applicable in management situations are referred to as management theories. Definition: a social physiologist Kurt Lewin, cited in Vogue, sees the theory as the way of explaining the ordering and occurrence of various events. The same author quotes Scrum as describing the theory as a crap detector which enables us to separate scientific statements from unscientific ones. Little John, in his own views, defines theory as any conceptual presentation or explanation of phenomenon. Then we have a lot of theories in the media management sector, but this model we have to see only two types of management. These are classical management theory, human relationship and behavioral management theory. The theories in this category are mainly concerned with how to maximize profit through efficient and effective work methods. They include Frederick Taylor, who lived from 1856 to 1915, and Henry Fayol of 1841 to 1925. Thus, the classical management theories have two approaches: Frederick Taylor's classical scientific and Henry Fayol's classical administrative theories. First, we are going to see about Frederick Taylor's scientific management theory. Frederick Winslow Taylor, 1856 to 1915, was a native of a small German town. He made so many contributions in the area of scientific management. Little wonder he later became commonly referred to as the father of scientific management. Scientific management primarily aims at increasing productivity by increasing efficiency and wages of works. It seems to find out the best methods of doing each job. It uses scientific methods or procedures in selecting employees and giving them scientific training and development. Scientific management believes in establishing, maintaining and sustaining close cooperation and mutual understanding between management and employees. It uses division of labor and tries to produce maximum output by fixing performance standards for each job and by having a different piece rate system for payment of wages. Next, we are going to see about administrative management approach theory. The administrative management sees management as the process of getting things done through people as a group of instead of as an individual. The first expert in this area was a French industrialist and a management consultant. He started a functional approach to management. He was referred to as the father of modern management. In his book entitled Industrial and General Administration, published in 1916, Henry Fayol gave the following 14 principles of management. First, division of work. Duties should be divided into sections, divisions and departments with a specialist handling each section. Such specialization according to him allows the individual to build up expertise and thereby become more productive. Next, discipline. Management and staff must follow a laid down rules and procedures for the success of the organization. Third, authority and responsibilities. Managers must have the right and ability to give orders and the power to exert obedience, but also keep in mind that with authority comes responsibility. Next, unity of command. Each employee should have only one direct boss or supervisor with no other conflicting lines of command. Next, unity of direction. Teams with the same objective should work under the direction of one manager using one plan. This will ensure that action is properly coordinated. Next, subordination of individual interests to the general interest. The interest of the one employee should not be allowed to become more important than those of the group. This includes managers. Next, remunerations. Employee satisfaction depends on fair remuneration for everyone. This includes both financial and non-financial. Next, centralization. This principle refers to the nearness of employees to the decision makers. It is necessary to aim at appropriate balance. Next, scare chain. Employees should be aware of where they stand in the organization's hierarchy or chain of command. Next, order. Everything and every person should have its or his or her place in an organization. Equity. Managers should be fair to staff at all times, both maintaining disciplines as necessary and acting with kindness where appropriate and justice. Next, 12th, stability of tenure. Managers should strive to minimize employee turnover. Personal planning should be priority. Initiative. Employees should be given the necessary autonomy or free hand to create and carry out plans, and that creative efforts should be recognized and encouraged through rewards, as this would lead to the greater innovations. Next and last, 14th, esprit de corps. Management should strive to promote the spirit of teamwork and unity, as this would lead to greater harmony in the organization. Next, we have seen about human relationship and behavioral management theory. These theories emerged in the early 1920s. The theories addresses the human dimension of works. Behavioral theorists believes that people are important in an organization and that good human relations and liberal leadership can increase the output. The emphasis is that managers and management should view employees as individuals, resources and assets to be developed and worked with, not as machines. This is the only way to get the best out of them, increase productivity and attain organizational goals. Notable theorists of this method include Douglas M.C. Gregor and Abraham Maslow. First, in this area, first we have going to see about Douglas M.C. Gregor's theory X and theory Y. Douglas M.C. Gregor 1906 to 1964 was the one of the forefathers of management theories and one of the top business thinkers of all time. He was a social physiologist. In his book, The Human Side of the Enterprise, M.C. Gregor identified two sets of assumptions by management about human behavior. He called them Theory X and Theory Y. These two opposing perceptions theorized how people view human behavior of work and organizational life. First, Theory X. M.C. Gregor's Theory X agrees with the classical management approach, which believes that management role is to concentrate and control employees. The main assumptions of Theory X include man has an inherent dislike for work and will avoid it whenever possible. Man must be coerced, controlled, directed or threatened with punishment in order to achieve organizational objectives. Man prefers to be directed, do not want responsibilities and have little or no ambition. People seek security above all else. Theory Y. With Theory Y assumptions, management role is to develop the potentials in employees and help them to release those potential towards common goals. The assumptions include work is natural as play and rest. Man will exercise self-direction if they are committed to the objectives. They are not lazy. Commitment to objectives is a function of the rewards associated with their achievement. People learn to accept and seek responsibility. Creativity, ingenuity and imagination are widely distributed among the lay. Creativity, ingenuity and imagination are widely distributed among the population. People are capable of using these abilities to solve organizational problems. People have potentials that are partially utilized. Next, Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs. An American clinical physiologist, he became famous through his contributions in the explanations in the area of human needs. In his paper, Theory of Human Motivation, he observed that man has innate curiosity to satisfy his needs. He observed that man has innate curiosity to satisfy his needs, and that as humans meet their basic needs, they seek to successfully satisfy higher ones that occupy a set of hierarchy. Maslow's hierarchy is often represented by the pyramid consisting of 5 levels as depicted on the diagram. First, physiological need. These are otherwise called biological needs, survival needs, or compulsory needs. They include foods, shelter, clothing, water, sex, and elimination of waste products. Next, safety needs. The need for the safety and security arises that of physiological need. Psychological need is satisfied. It is the need for protection from threatening situations and dangers. It may range from physical, personal security, employment, security of revenue and resources, health, etc. Next, social and affection needs. This is otherwise called belongingness and intimacy needs. It involves emotional based relationships as such as friendships, external intimacy, family relationships, etc. It includes need for leading and borrowing. Lack of this need makes one frustrated. Next, self-esteem needs. This is the self-ego needs. It includes respect for others and oneself. It demands one handling authority to be accorded honor. People engage in relationships to achieve a sense of acceptance and self-value. The absence of these results in inferiority complex and deflected self-importance. Next, self-actualization. This is attaining one's goals in life, good reputation, sense of fulfillment, etc. The apex of the pyramid, it is also called the fulfillment needs. It comes when one feels he or she has achieved all he wants to achieve in life. Next and last, human relations management approach by Elton Mayo. The human relations school of thought is primarily based on Elton Mayo 1880 to 1949 and his Harvard University experiments. Mayo was a professor of industrial research, Harvard University Graduate School of Business Administration. He was invited by the authorities of Western Electric Company to research into the effect of physical facilities on workers' output. His research showed that better physical environment or increased economic benefits in alone were not sufficient motivators in increasing productivity. In effect, the emphasis shifted to the psychological and social forces in addition to economic forces. Moyo discovered that when workers are given special attention by management, the productivity is likely to increase irrespective of actual changes in the working conditions. Central to this approach was an increased understanding of individual workers' emphasis on motivation, needs, interpersonal relationships, and group dynamics. These experiments suggested that an office or a factory is not only a workplace but also a social environment in which the employees interact with each other. Okafor believed that the human relations management theories opened managers' mind towards understanding that the worker is a social being with feelings and emotions. This is in contrast with Taylor's view of the worker as a mere adjunct to a machine. Workers are not always economically minded. They are also interested in harmonious and satisfying social relations in the workplace. This also contradicts Taylor's beliefs and the assumption that money was the only means of motivating workers. Workers should not always be seen as individuals but as members of a group, and that behavior of the workers is usually influenced by the group which he belongs. Working conditions export considerable impact on workers' performance. It must be pointed out that the human relations. This theory redirected thinking on human behavior from the classical conception, which sees it as inert and latently dysfunctional, to a more comprehensive and dynamic issue in management. Thank you.